First of all, this is the first time that Mr. Kenny will be joining us, and I don't think he has had the opportunity to introduce himself yet. So, Mr. Kenny, if you do the honors. Mr. Kenny, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was saying that this is the first time that you'll be joining us. So there is when we all first came in, we had like this introduction where we introduced each other rather. So if you can just do that like the next 1-2 minutes, that would be perfect.
Okay, sir. So my name is Olawale Kende. Maybe I should ask what else do I say about myself?
Just basic stuff like why you're here, what you're doing, what you're hoping to achieve from this, and then maybe something fun or weird or relatable about it.
Okay, so I'm a twin. Interestingly, Taiwo is like my twin brother. I'm a businessman, but I also have a strong desire to learn Python, which is why I'm here. I'm looking forward to being able to add this to a set of skills I intend to build to be a better person. So I'm actually very grateful for this privilege, and I look forward to exciting times. So thank you for having me here. I'm grateful, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for that. Everybody has introduced themselves before. I'm not sure if you saw that video, but Shewa is there, Blessing is there, Simi is there, Godwin will join in later. Yeah, Blessed is also will join in later. The rapper is not around now. I'm guessing she's asleep. So those are like the 7 people that we have here. And I mentioned before that this is a collaborative thing, so there's no like competition, right? So just to talk about the elephant in the room, it's been almost 4 weeks since, when I say 4, I actually can't get track of the time, but it's been a while since I posted the first material for week 2, and not a lot of people have responded for the task. Just a few people have turned in some of them. Actually, just one person has turned in most of them. The others have not really done a lot. And when I said I was a bit disappointed, it was mostly because this part of the course, this sort of the syllabus is actually a bit simple. So I was concerned that if you guys did not get this part, then well, it's not going to be impossible. It's just going to be a bit difficult. But then I decided to reach out to individual people, and I decided to understand a bit more why most of us couldn't reach out. Most of us couldn't do the task. Many or the major reason rather was mostly because of time. People didn't have the time, and I think following that was the fact that people did not had not fully set up their computer and laptop and all that. And so we're hoping that at the moment of this call, everyone, I think that's good. Everyone has gotten their laptop set up. Some of you that were busy, engaged over the past few weeks, and now you now have a bit of time on your hands. I think those are the 2 major excuses, and those 2 excuses have been more or less gone. All right, so before I go on, I wanted to now get everyone's input. Over the past 2 weeks, for some reason, many of us couldn't get the assignment done or the task done. And if you know that your reason was different from laptop setup or the time that you didn't have, I want to hear what other reason you might have had. Because the reason why I want to know this is so that in the future, I can work around this. This is the first time you're learning programming. And so there's going to be a lot of resistance, and that is understandable. My job is to try and reduce the resistance as much as possible until you get through the end. So unless you tell me what those resistance are, I won't be able to help as much. So the next few minutes, everyone's going to take their turns, and then they'll try to explain to me what resistance they might be having or what challenges they might be facing while going through the program. And then I'll take note and try to get better at it. All right, so did you guys get that?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. All right, so Godwin, before we go on, Godwin, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you come again?
Awesome. So before you go here, Mr. Kenny was just introducing himself. Kenny Olawale, you'd see him among the participants as well. Over the next few weeks, you might get to know him personally as well. And I'm not sure if you heard me, but just to reiterate again, I want to know what the challenges what were challenges you faced rather, that most of us couldn't get the task done. If you can explain those challenges to me, then I can make the learning of Python a bit less difficult for you. Unless I know what those challenges are, I can't. And this is like 11 weeks of basic Python. So if at the first week you're already having challenges, then unless you can tell me, well, let's just say, let's see what the future is. So after all of that, right, whoever wants to start, please just go ahead, explain what challenges are to me. Don't take too long. Like I said, we want to round this up for people. Hello? Somebody going to say something?
Okay, my name is Sean.
Sure. Hi.
Yeah, for me, it was time. I was quite busy with something, so I was not able to do the assignment. I was not able to do the assignment. Like I had exams, so I was not able to go through the assignments or even do the assignment at all. But right now I'm free, so I should be able to do that.
Okay.
That's my own excuse.
I understand that exams are very engaging. Oh, by the way, Sheun just finished his final paper, so he's technically a graduate now. Congratulations, Sheun. So I understand that exams can be very engaging, and I'm hoping that after, since you're done.
Sorry, I cannot hear you very well. I think the line is breaking or something. It's cracking.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you though.
Okay, sure. I think your network might be having an issue. Try to fix it, all right?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat what you just said?
Hello, Sheun, can you hear me?
No.
Okay. I think might be having an issue since every other person can hear me. Well, I'm just going to go ahead, right? Sheun mentioned that he didn't have a lot of time on his hand rather because he was quite engaged with exams. And done with his exams now, he has more time to spare. All right, so I'm assuming that because your exams are done, we're not going to have any challenges moving forward, okay? Like I said, the time commitment that this class requires is simply that you join the class, well, you don't join the classes on Wednesday, but Wednesdays rather. But if you need help understanding the task and the materials that were sent for that week, then you should join the class on Wednesday. The major ones are joining in on Sunday for the code review. Wednesday is optional. Some of you might be geniuses, but make sure you participate in the task. I'm not so crazy about getting the videos watched. You don't have to watch the videos. You should. I will advise that you do, but make sure you get the task. The tasks are the only way I can know that you're actually learning. So thank you for that input. Who else wants to talk?
Hi everyone, this is Kenny.
So Kenny?
So for me, yes, there was a time issue. I couldn't successfully manage my time properly between my other commitments, particularly having to juggle so many things that I do at the same time. But I'm working on that currently. But even when I now created the time, I had an issue understanding some of the videos, which I think was because I rushed them. So again, I think it's a time problem. If I probably started earlier, I would understand videos better and I would have been able to ask questions earlier. So I'll just stay with the timing issue, but I also will need more explanations where I seem not to be clear. So I guess I should be able to reach out to you earlier than before. So that's what I intend to start doing now. I'll be reaching out more at every point in time. I hope that's possible, right?
Yeah, yes, that's very possible. Yeah.
So I'll reach out to you when I find it difficult to move. And I think that
awesome. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yes, so I'd said this before, and I don't know if you guys remember, but the idea here is that unlike other materials we find online, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly and then ask as many questions as you want until you're clear. I think that's one of the major selling point of this whole program, that you can reach out if you have any questions. I'm not just giving you materials, and I'm reiterating it again. I'm saying it again. If you have any questions, I think Mr. Godwin reached out, Timmy reached out, what people did, and I tried my best to explain it. And I think some even asked questions over and over again until they finally got it, which I hope they did. So that's the whole idea. Unless you get it, because like I said before, what we're teaching here, they're building blocks. You learn this and you learn that and you learn this and you learn that. If you miss one, chances of building on it might be low. So you might not get it moving forward, okay? So thank you for that, Mr. Ken. Who else wants to go? Blessing, Godwin, Dami, Timmy.
Okay.
Anyone?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Godwin.
Hi, Godwin.
Yeah, for me, it's time to actually.
Can you speak louder, please?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just a bit louder. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, for me, it's been time to this month has been tight for me due to the work I do. My clients are requesting for more, and I'm trying to meet budgets, and I'm just trying to improve myself because I was going to take a new classes, so I need to actually rehearse and practice perfectly before teaching the girls. So this month has been very tight for me. So I couldn't even focus on the video or watching the video. I did watch one, but not like I understood the word perfectly, but I just to let me just relax and not rush into this and do the assignment strongly with you.
Okay, awesome.
That's
Thank you. Do you want to say more?
Yeah, no.
All right, thanks. So Godwin is saying something along the line of Mr. Kenny, time management, and the fact that I couldn't understand it as much. I will address that as well. Timmy and Dolapo and Blessing, any input from you guys?
Okay, so the reason I couldn't do anything was because, I mean, the laptop I'm working with was really, really faulty. So I had to get that fixed first. Now I'm good now. So
Awesome. Thanks. Dolapo, Blessing, any input from you? Okay. So
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was just asking, okay, you were not with us from the beginning. I was trying to understand what was the challenge that everyone had that they couldn't get the task done in that time. So everybody kind of went through one of the issues they had, time management and not understanding material so well. So did you have any issues? And if you did, what were they?
Time, I guess, and laptop issues too.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm just going to assume that Blessing is not with us because she's rather quiet. So I got everyone's okay. Do you have any input as regards why you couldn't get the task done?
Same issue, the laptop and understanding the videos. I told you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I was thinking that who was that? Okay. I was thinking that maybe I mean, if it's about time management, maybe we should find a way to reduce how much videos you have to watch, because I mean, I wouldn't say that they are much, but maybe I should split it into like two. So there's a one for if you have a lot of time on your hands, then you want to go into this like deep dive, you want to really understand it, then you can watch these videos. And then I can separate a different one. And like, if you don't have a lot of time, then just watch just like 2-3 minutes videos and you're good. The problem about that is many materials online are not that short. They are not really that short. I might have to make them myself. And if I were to do that, that would take a lot of time. And that doesn't even guarantee that it will be short. So I'm looking at this week, for instance, this is 6 minutes. I think a total of about 30 minutes videos. So like I advised, as regards the time management issue, anytime I post a material, I always recommend that you watch you don't have to really understand it. You should understand, I mean, roughly what it's saying, but you don't have to really understand it when you first watch it. Many of these things are learned by repetition. Um, and more importantly, many of them are learned by practical application. So you might have watched something and then you don't really understand it. I don't want you to spend time and then try to figure it out. No. The idea of the videos are just so that you can first just have a rough idea of what it's saying, then look at the task. Okay, what's this task trying to say? Is there any relationship between the two? That is why Wednesday is there. Wednesday is so that I can now come and now show you, okay, this is what you didn't understand, this is what I can explain, this is what I can explain. And when I say Wednesday, I mean for the general class. You can always reach out to me privately and say, okay, this part of the video talks about something. One other thing you should probably know is that these videos, I'm not the one who made them. I went online and searched for them. So some of them will talk about stuff that, although it's nice to know, might not be relevant to what you need to learn now. So if you were like watching a part of the video and then you didn't understand that part, and they reach out to me, I can either explain it to you or just tell you that, don't worry about this now. This is not something you have to worry about, right? So ideally, everybody reaching out to me individually rather would be cumbersome, but it's fine. What happens is that when you reach out to me a lot, I'll try to see common problems across everybody's question, and then those are the ones that will properly address on Wednesdays. But if you don't reach out to me, there's no way I can know that. I just assume, because if you ask me, then I'll obviously tell you that this is a very simple part. As per se, I've been programming for a while, but I'm trying to come from a perspective, and it's a bit difficult given the difference of the experience. So I'm going to try to provide shorter materials moving forward. I can't do anything about this week. You guys will need to get through that. I'm going to try to provide shorter materials going forward. I'm also going to try to provide alternative materials. So what I mean by that is, instead of posting videos, I could probably just put like a 3-page PDF that you can read. So you can read it on your way to the on transit rather. You don't have to like watch a video and then block it and then pay attention for the next 7-10 minutes. You can just open a PDF or you can print it out, however you want to do it. I'm going to provide videos and PDFs as well. So whichever is comfortable for you guys, and will be good. The Q&A session on Wednesday, if you can make it, that will help you understand it better, because I'll not try to explain all of these concepts individually as we have our classes. Okay, so are you guys with me so far? Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, we
Thank
are.
you.
Awesome. Good. So I think that's a major issue. Now, there's a second issue. Not an issue, more like a suggestion. I realize that sometimes I think a lot of us are in the third category where we need like this physical contact. We need this physical lecture. Like you have to be there physically to orally explain the concept to the other person to grasp. And as much as I sympathize with you, I'm having a bit of challenge trying to figure out a physical location that would be good for us to see, because if we're doing these things physically, right? I mean, to be a lot of toll, to have its own toll on me, to be a lot of work for me. But I guess since I'm already spending like an hour or two on Wednesday doing Q&A, if anybody has any ideas on how we can have like a physical location where not everyone, some people can gather, and then I can do this in a more physical setting, then that would be great. If that's possible, that would be perfect. I think for 2 hours, I explain the concept in person to you. I think you might grasp it better. If it's not possible, like I said, we'll have to settle with what we have, which is online calls, right? So if you have any ideas, just let me know after the call. Now, to say other things, I would say that I think one of the major things that we might have lost track of here is the objective of this class. It has multiple objectives, yes. Number one is that you learn how to write programming. You learn how to write Python, which is generally learn how to program. But there are other things. What we have in our syllabus here, the 11 topics that we have in our syllabus, does not cover 0.5% of the entire concept in programming. Like everything that we have, I think I can still get there. Everything that we have in the first, everything that we have in here does not cover 0.5. of the concept of programming. So what I'm trying to do by going through this basic concept is that I want you to be able to learn it by yourself. I want you to be able to check the materials. I want you to be able to know the right questions to ask. I want you to be able to know what to research. So if you're watching something and then you're confused by something that the guy said, I want you to be able to, okay, I didn't understand it. Let me try and use Google first. Now, the reason why that is important is because I will be able to teach you everything you need to learn in programming. Hell, I don't even know what 10% of stuff in programming. I'm just relatively good in what I know how to do, but then there are so many things I don't know how to do. And I can't sit down and teach you everything I know. You can't find anybody that will do that for you. The best feature that the programmer has is that he can pick up any language and learn by himself. That's like the most important thing. I recently started learning a language called Rust. It's for blockchain technology. Apparently, that's where the money is. And honestly, it's one of the most difficult languages I've ever learned. I've ever had to start learning. But hopefully I will eventually get there. So it's one of the things that I had to learn. I had to learn how to do is, okay, I'm researching materials about Rust further. I know the right questions to ask. I'm trying to see, it's just I'm able to guide myself throughout the learning process. Now, it's the same thing I'm trying to do here. I'm going to provide you material. I'm going to provide you tasks. Now, if you can successfully get through the program by yourself, well, obviously, I'm going to assist. That means in the future, if you got a job, for instance, and then you needed to learn a different language, say JavaScript, all you need to do is go online, look for the materials, and then go through the same process of what you're going through right now, and you'll be able to learn the language. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach you to be independent. I'm trying to teach you to be able to pick up things on your own. And that is a very important feature of a programmer. It's called flexibility. You cannot know only one language and then claim that you're a programmer. Programmers have to know multiple languages. They become proficient, very, very good in one, but then they have to know multiple languages as well. So that's like one of the important goals of this class. And so as much as you might want me to hold your hand and then explain everything to you, I will also advise you that when you have some challenges, before you reach out to me, try to first do your research. Google is a friend. Like, do your research on Google. If after Google you still don't grasp the concept, the next best thing you want to do is reach out to your colleagues, that's people that are doing this thing with, your partners, your friends. Reach out to them, see if they can help. If that doesn't work, then you can reach out to me. But because you are going through all this process, you are able to learn how to use all the resources at your disposal. Google, community, and then me. All right. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say here?
Yes, I understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to end like next 5 minutes. What we're going to do now moving forward is that, like I said, I'm going to try to get shorter materials to help you guys understand better. I'm going to try to reach out to as many of you to make sure that you're always on your tools and this stuff. Now, this is also something important. If you are feeling like, okay, I cannot do this again, I think the best thing you want to do is to reach out to me first. Because there's a difference between, okay, let me rephrase that. If you feel like, okay, I can't do this again, that program is not for me. Yeah, that's precisely what I'm trying to get to. If you feel like, okay, this is so hard, I can't do it, so maybe I shouldn't bother doing programming. Maybe I'm too old for it. Maybe my brain is no longer, that. Once you start getting that feelings, the first thing you want to do is reach out to me. Usually, many of the time, the case is just that the materials are overwhelming. And maybe you're just getting at a slower pace. It doesn't mean you're not learning. It just means that you're learning at a slower pace. And if you guys understand how learning works, it's usually there's an initial phase of like, you're not getting things well and things are slow. Then you get to a point where you grasp it well and then you're just moving fast. So in that kind of situation, what I want to do for you is I want to make sure you get to that point where you can really now start to grasp things. What I'm trying to say here is that if you feel like you're discouraged and then you don't want to learn, the best thing you want to do is reach out to me. Don't go and try to figure out the best solution yourself. And then if you say you now become dormant for a long time, I'll obviously be checking on you myself. But if you have any questions, any concerns, any reservations, just don't hesitate to reach out. I'll do my best on my part to try and make sure that the resources are as good as possible. Because like I said in the orientation video, this is just as important for me as it is important for you, because just to talk off point for a bit, many people are out there that claim they do not have the opportunity to be able to, get a job or make money or whatever. And I'm trying to see if it's possible to teach people the basics of programming such that they can then pick it up and learn themselves, then to make programming a viable option even to the least most considered people, to the least considered people. I'm not sure the English is there. So if you guys can make this happen for yourself, you're also making a lot of things happen for me and then for other people that is going to eventually go through. So like just to reiterate, just to conclude that, you're not the only ones I'm doing this for. You will not be the last, definitely. Okay, so a lot of the output of this program will determine what happens next for you and for others. Now, before I go on, does anyone have any more questions? I'm about to give like the final concluding remarks and then I switch off. Does anybody have any questions?
No questions on my end. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm going to make a video again explaining this task. I'm going to try and run through some of the concepts of. I'm going to try and run through some of the concepts of the videos here. I'm going to explain the task and what you need to do, what exactly you need to how best you need to approach it. I'm not going to give you a lot of answers, a lot of like what's the word now, tips to solve the problem. Well, I'll give you tips, but I'm not going to give you like the solution straight up. I will try to explain some of the materials, then what you need to do here. And then hopefully, now today is Wednesday. I'm going to give you till next week, Saturday. So you will have to next week, Saturday to reach out to me if you have any questions, to try and complete the task, to watch the videos, and then we'll kick off from there. Because the moment we start to go, we won't stop. Thank you all for joining in. I really appreciate that you joined the class. It's very encouraging to see virtually everyone here. And good night.
Thank you so much for your time as well. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Taiwo.
Yeah, good night.